recording yet, Angelo? Aha, gotcha. There we go. You'll have to click the OK, Jim, and everybody else. Anyway, we have tonight with us Jim Coleman, who is one of our Louisiana ARES folks, and he's been at this a very long time. And so what I think I'll do is I think I'll let Jim introduce himself and kind of go through what he's done in ARES and give us his presentation. And thank you much for coming, Jim.
Well, thank you very much, Marvin, for inviting me. Good to be here. Houston was unable to make it tonight because he had a tree fall in the yard yesterday or this morning and last night, and it took out all of his electrical power. Hopefully he'll be able to make it to your next meeting. I serve as the Section Emergency Coordinator for Louisiana. I've been a ham radio operator for approximately 60 years. So I was licensed originally in 1968 as a novice. So here I am. I'd like to talk tonight about the 3 A's in ham radio, the 3 A's in ham radio. The ARRL, ARES, and ARCSCOM. ARCSCOM is Alpha Uniform X-Ray, Charlie Oscar, Mike Mike. A term that's not commonly known. Tonight I thought I would talk about the first 2 A's, the ARRL and ARES, and the next time we get together, talk about ARCSCOM. So let's get started with the American Radio Relay League. When I did my investigation, I found out something that I thought was really interesting. It was founded way back in 1914. I didn't realize that it went back so far, but it's a non-commercial organization of radio amateurs. The foundation for the American Radio Relay League, 5 public service, for example, emergency communications, advocacy, which is helping us keep our band planned, and hopefully one day we'll be able to put up the antennas that we want to, even in a neighborhood that has HOAs active. Education. You know, there are a couple of courses that are in emergency communications that are currently available for free on the web. Technology. Every month there's all kinds of good information about the latest and greatest equipment on the electronic version of QST. And the final pillar, of course, is all of us, membership. You know, we're what makes the league what it is, the members of the league. If y'all have any questions or comments, just jump in. You know, the league, of course, is involved in the amateur radio service. And I thought it would be a good idea just to briefly talk about the amateur radio service. You know, it's a service that deals with radio communication, technical investigations. It consists of duly authorized people interested in radio technique solely with a personal aim and without any interest in making money off of it. We all have an amateur station, and certainly that's part of it. And we all have an FCC license. So the amateur radio service consists of our station and our license. And it's all governed by FCC Rule 97. You know, it's hard to get a hard copy of a license anymore. Back in the early days, they sent you a copy in the mail. Now you have to go to the web, to the FCC website and print out a copy. I've just renewed my license for another 10 years. So I was happy to do it. Now let's begin our discussion about ARRES. You know, I was the emergency coordinator for Washington Parish during Katrina, and that was quite an experience. Of course, it's been over 10 years since Katrina, but a more recent occurrence would be Hurricane Ida in August of 2021. Widespread power outages. The New Orleans 911 system was down. Many parishes lost their cell phone coverage, their landline telephone coverage, and the state public safety radio network went down. In Terrebonne Parish, they had a mandatory evacuation order that began on the 29th of August, and it was not lifted until the 13th of September. So what happens when you have this kind of event? Well, lucky for everyone in Louisiana, the amateur radio emergency service is ready to help. The amateur radio emergency service was formed by the League in 1935. It's part of the field organization. The field organization is divided into sections. Some states have more than one section. In Louisiana, that's just one section. I think Texas has 2 or 3. For example, Florida has a couple or more. California, who knows? I forget. But each section has a ARES group made up of volunteers. In Louisiana, the ARES organization is run by the members of the organization. There are a few people like myself and the district emergency coordinators and the parish emergency coordinators that are here to coach, mentor, and help out whenever needed by the by the members of ARES. We do not dictate. We help out whenever we can. We try to keep it organized. There is, for example, a Louisiana ARES Facebook page on the web. If you would go to the Facebook page tonight, you'll find an audio recording of the National Weather Service briefing that took place at 2 p.m. this afternoon on the upcoming bad weather that will begin tomorrow and then get really, really bad on Saturday. They're expecting throughout the state, most of the state, will have really, really bad weather on Saturday. So I would encourage you, if you can, to go to the Louisiana ARES Facebook page and listen to the audio recording of the briefing. You know, ARES consists of trained, qualified, and certified radio amateurs that support vital communications on behalf of the public. We've proven to be effective throughout the country in providing backup emergency radio services, not only to government, but to served agencies that are non-government, for example, the Red Cross, the Baptist response organizations, any number of non-governmental agencies, organizations, in addition to the government agencies that we do help out. Now, I mentioned the word trained just a minute ago, and qualified, and also certified. So I want to talk to you a little bit about those three items. So you might be better educated about what they really mean. As I mentioned to you earlier, there are courses available on the web for free on emergency communications. A basic level ARES member would typically go to the ARRL website, access the free course that's called Basic MCOM. It's available for even for non-league members, no charge. In addition, it is for a basic level certification. It's also required that you take the online FEMA courses of ICS 100, 200, 700, and 800. In addition to the league course and the FEMA course, to be certified at the basic level, you'll need to take the web course for Skywarn. Now, how do you become certified? We talked about training, but then how do you become certified once you get to training? Well, for each level of ARES, there is a a task book that allows you to keep track of your training and keep track of all of your activities. And by keeping track of the activities, you develop a level of proficiency. And the DEC for your area will certify you as far as your training and your proficiency. And you will therefore become certified at the basic level. The basic ARRL course will probably take about 10 hours. The FEMA courses are 4 courses. They're very basic. I think they probably took me maybe, about 10 hours. So there's 20 hours of training to become certified at the basic level. Now, if you want to become an EC, a DEC, or an SEC, the league requires that over a period of time that you also become certified at the intermediate and advanced level. They would like it to happen within a year of you becoming appointed as an EC or DEC or an SEC. But the section manager, Houston, has the authority to give you more time. At the intermediate level, there are 6 modules in that course, the lead course, and 30 topics. There are no additional FEMA courses required. There are no additional Skywarn courses required, but there is some participation and proficiency items that you can look at or access via the task book. The advanced level certification is quite a bit more intense. With 10 additional FEMA courses and the advanced level lead course, ARRL course. That course is currently in development. It has not been released as of yet. And then the advanced Skywarn course. Have I done all of them? No, I haven't. I'm working on it. Houston has the philosophy that if you're making progress and you're showing improvement over time, he'll cut you some slack. Are there any questions on what I've gone over on the first 2 A's, the ARRL and ARES? Are there any questions?
I have it. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah, you mentioned the task book. Is the task book online or is it papered task book?
I heard, is it something task book? What was your question again?
I'm sorry, I missed my mic. Is the task book online or is it actually a paperback book that you have to fill out your progress in?
It is available online in PDF form, which it would be helpful. It would be helpful to this group if you all would. I don't know, Angela. Maybe you're coordinating the group. If you could get me the email addresses of the group, I'll collect up all the information, the task book information, in PDF format and send it to you. Incidentally, the presentation tonight and the one to follow is also available in PDF. If it would be helpful, I can convert the PDF into Word. And if you have a text or audio software on your computer, perhaps it would be advantageous for me to do that. So you can have a text or audio document that you could convert into audio. What do y'all think about that? How can I help you?
Well, one thing as far as I know, those PDF files are accessible to blind people. As far as I know, they're done in accessible format. But if you could send us to make things easier on yourself, if you could email me some links to those documents, I can email them to Joel, and he would probably put them up. We have a links page on blindhams.com. And that way, if anybody is interested in checking all of this out, then we would have those links available on blindhams.com.
Okay. Would you like me to send you that and also this presentation in Word? And then you can distribute it to the group?
That would be fine. Or if you have a link to it somewhere, you can just send me that.
We are recording this now. We'll be presenting it on YouTube, just as you're presenting it. And we'll also have a transcription generated to place in the show notes. So whatever you would like to do, we're open.
Well, what I'll do is, of course, a transcription of the audio doesn't have the same amount of detail as the briefing notes that I have. So I'd be more than happy to send you a copy of all the details in the briefing notes so that it can supplement the transcription of the audio.
That'd be
Sounds great.
great.
This is Robert, NC5R. I'm in Texas, and I'm a blind ARES member in Texas, and I've found, for the most part, the task book to be quite accessible with a screen reader online. The HTML version of the task book actually works pretty well. I have to admit, I haven't been using it as much as my coordinator would like me to, and I need to get back to it. But when I was looking at it a while back, it was maybe not absolutely 100% accessible, but accessible enough that I was able to work with it.
That's good information, Robert.
Which, back on American Radio Relay League stuff, one of the things that I like about the league is it is an opportunity for a person to get involved in the grassroots level. I mean, you may not want to, but to be a local ARES member, or do like I did, and I was EC of Beauregard Parish for several years. So, and it's like anything else, the more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And I got to meet several people, got to work with several people in Beauregard Parish that were really great people. And when it comes down to a disaster, uh, we ran communications from several centers when we had evacuees here in Beauregard Parish. And those folks really appreciated us because we could get on our radios and check on their loved ones if they happened to be in another center or anything that they might need. Folks really appreciated that. Another thing that the league will do when it comes your turn to upgrade your license as a blind person, which our membership is because we're blind, we don't have access to QST. Our membership is $15 a year. And along with that membership, they will renew your license for you. And I've done that a time or two. I did not do it when I got my extra class ticket. I did it myself and I almost drove myself crazy. But for some folks, that is a really, really good service.
You know, the opportunity for making a contribution during emergency events uh, is quite extraordinary. Uh, in my presentation and in most presentations that you hear these days, people like to talk about ham radio operators helping out the governmental agencies and operating at the Emergency Operations Center. And that, of course, is only one way that we can contribute. You know, another way to contribute is that if you are evacuated to a shelter and you're able to take your UHF or VHF radio with you, then you can be the go-to person to communicate with the EOC from the shelter and to pass traffic back and forth, as well as passing health and welfare traffic back and forth, where people outside of the emergency area are trying to find out how their relatives are doing. And they're going crazy because they can't find out. If you're a ham, boy, he can be quite helpful in that regard at the shelters. Now, for the people that don't evacuate and have the capability to stay at their house, then you become a very valuable resource for the neighborhood, getting information in and out of the neighborhood. So it doesn't matter what level you participate at, either the local neighborhood level, the shelter level, the EOC level, or helping out the Red Cross or the Baptist people or so forth. That any number of ways for ham guys to contribute their knowledge and services during an emergency.
Are there any more questions that anybody has? Questions or comments? Jim, anything else that you would, because I know you and your lovely, you want to get home to your lovely bride in time.
Well, I don't know if the guys heard, but I'm at my office. My office is at the Washington Parish EOC Emergency Operations Center, where worked for the 911 for Washington Parish, and also furnished radio services to the parish here. But I've got to head to the house. It's about 30 minutes away. So I've got about 15 more slides on Opcom that I'd like to talk to you about at your next convenience, your next meeting, whatever is convenient for you. And I'm sure Houston would be able to come once he gets his power back up and running. And he can talk more about the league, about the ARRL and everything it's doing and the benefits and so forth, much more than I can. So with that in mind, Marvin, thanks for having me. I hope I've helped out a little bit. I look forward to getting together again with you guys and talking more. So back to you, Marv.
All right, Jim. Well, thank you so very much for taking time to come. And as far as I know, I would like to hear more about your last presentation, and if no one objects, why we can do that the second Thursday of April. Which another thing that just came to my mind too, when I was EC in Beauregard Parish, the one thing that helped me more than anything else was that I could appoint assistant ECs that, I mean, they didn't have to take any courses, but if you got a guy that's good at putting up antennas, or maybe a guy that is a really good net control guy, those people are invaluable when you are in an emergency situation.
That's exactly right. If you are an EC or above, you do have to be a league member, but an assistant EC does not have to be a league member. And the radio the ham radio guys that are part of the organization that are the guys that actually do all the work do not have to be a league member. So anybody that wants to contribute, there are plenty of opportunities.
Well, thanks, Jim. I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything else before Robert puts the ribbon on it and stops the recording and all that?
I'd just like to thank Jim for coming by, and Marvin, when Jim sends you all that information, just forward it to me and I'll get ready for the show notes for the YouTube and for the podcast.
I'll do it, buddy.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. 73. Best wishes. I'll see you next time.
All right, Jim.
73, Jim.
Thanks,
There you
Jim.
go.
73.